Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Green Pill Podcast. I'm your host, Jeffrey, and my co-host here is Kat.
I'm Smeagol. I want the precious. Now, hi, I'm Kat, and I'm lounging here like a Roman emperor because I have an injury in my neck, and any other position hurts. So, in case you were wondering why, while Jeffrey is sitting up nice and tall and straight like a person, and I'm lounging, that would be why. Anyway, carry on. What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about prestidigitation, mind reading, because we have this power. I
Oh
know
yeah, totally.
Kat. Oh,
And
you're
and there
really
are no gray elephants in Denmark.
exactly. The point is, we don't. No one is a mind reader. Some people are really good at reading facial expressions or reading sarcasm versus seriousness in a tweet or in a text message. But no, some people also are just not going to miss those messages. And for them, it's kind of difficult to know just because this person gets you and knows that when you roll your eyes, it means such and such, doesn't mean that that person knows you and knows when you roll your eyes, it means such and such. Not saying that those social cues that you get aren't being that other people don't see them, but it doesn't mean it's universal. And that's the problem. You can't just assume that because you're in a bad mood, but not showing it and hiding that bad mood, that someone is into it. Now, yes, I mean, I should notice if you're in a bad mood, and I should be able to talk to you and approach you if you're in a bad mood. But if you just hold it in and hold it in and hold it in and hold it in and hold it in until you break, then it just goes way past the point of safety. It goes way past the point where maybe that friendship can continue. And that's the danger. You got to be very mindful. I'm going to use an example between me and my friend Kat here. I sent him Kat a message that I did not necessarily think much of, but Kat said, no, I didn't like this. No, no, no. Please, when you message me, please just say hi. And like, yeah, we just did an episode about that. Of course, just say hi. I get you. I learned. I won't do that again. That's all. She tells me, I accept the note and I change because I know that she's my friend or they are my friend, as we've said through our first episode. And as such, I care about my friend.
Well, you also make it easy to do that sort of thing. I mean, the flip side of not a mind readers is, look, I am I'm a very verbal person, and when people and I'm very good at wordsing. I am very good at I had a friend, my God, she was one of Gracie's babysitters from back in the day, and she was not good at wordsing at
Mm,
all. And my hand to God, conversations with her, between her and me, only worked because I knew her as well as I did, that I was able to finish sentences for her.
right.
She'd get, she'd get like three or four words into a sentence and then sort of trail off. And after like 10 excruciating seconds, I'd go, "Are you trying to say this?" And she'd go, "Yes, thank you, that's it." And it just got to the point where that was our dynamic, because if it wasn't, we wouldn't talk at all. And it was only for summer and I dealt with it, but it's exhausting. And it's exhausting. And I mean, I'm not so much of a narcissist that I want to do that all the time. I'm
Right.
sorry. There's an episode of Deadwood where Ian McShane turns to one of his seconds and he says, because his second is kind of, he's hemming and hawing about something or other, and elsewhere, and Jen says, hey, 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 don't work that shit where you make me drag the words out. Declare or shut the fuck up. And I
Mm.
keep saying for years, I want that on a t-shirt.
Yes, that is well said. I mean, I had a really good friend in my writing group who I really enjoyed spending time with as a friend. And I did say some things that I regret, but I didn't know that I was saying these things that were hurting her. And granted, I admit that I should have known better, but it got to the point where I was saying the things on various platforms like Twitter, and there were just sort of words of encouragement and words of appreciation and maybe innuendos that didn't need to be there. But it got to the point where rather than just telling me stop doing that, it was, I've blocked you because you did that, and I'm canceling you from my life. And it's like, if you told me early on, I would have stopped. I didn't know. I didn't know that was hurting you.
It was just an excuse then.
Yeah.
I think they would have blocked you anyway. I think they were just waiting for an excuse.
Yeah, that might be. That might be. I mean, I accept it. I am very proud of that person for publishing a new book, and that's all good. So bravo. I accept that we're not friends anymore, but bravo. And that's it. I move on because you got to move on. As we've talked about before in ghosting, yeah, move on.
It's
But
hard though.
yeah, it is hard. It is hard. And mind reading is the thing. We are not mind readers. Men and women are not mind readers. Nobody is a mind reader. We may be good at reading facial expressions and gestures and all of that, but that is not mind reading. That is just reading someone's expressions. But unless you're being explicit, don't assume that someone got the point. And that's the point. Be explicit.
Also, we're living in a world of, we're increasingly people are discovering that, oh, heck, I have adult ADHD, or hey, I was undiagnosed autistic. Go me, which is fine. But like, oh, so that's why I maybe haven't been the best at picking up on social cues. Oh, that's why whatever. And there are ways to deal with that.
Right.
I mean, I was telling him earlier, I have a couple of friends, they knew each other before either of them knew me. And the one is autistic, and the one who is not autistic um said to the autistic one, okay, look, I'm very, very fond of you. You get to be a little much sometimes, because the autistic one has self-admittedly said, no, 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 I'm rubbish at reading social cues. I'm sorry. And a lot of people get frustrated with them for that reason. So mutual friend said, I don't get frustrated with you, but I also don't expect you to read my mind and know how I'm feeling about things. And you've said yourself that you can't pick up on the social cues. So how about this? Whenever I say the word umbrella, it means that I need you to dial it down a couple of notches. It means that I need you, for at least when you're around me, to just take a breath and just, okay.
Right.
And it works fine for them.
Right.
You
It,
know, neither friend was not offended.
mhm.
Neither friend is relieved. Everybody communicated, and it was all fine. I mean, just being able to communicate without getting defensive is
Right.
one of the greatest gifts in the world,
Absolutely.
and far too many people suck at it.
Yeah, it is. It's just a matter of speaking your words and enumerate. If something bothers you, say it bothers you. Don't assume that someone knows it bothers you. Say it, because then you made it clear that that is a true statement, and that is then how someone reacts can be how you judge. Most people will react in the way that you hope them to do once you've said that. And if someone doesn't, then you have a perfect right to just walk away and say no more. But most people will be respectful of that. I will say that one thing that's this sort of reminds me of is uh, Peter Capaldi's doctor and Clara. And Clara would having to sort of pass him notes about how to react to
I
people. And
loved those.
that
When those came out, I'm like, okay, we need those in life.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's also not just saying what you mean, but saying what you mean in a reasonable way, not like an angry doctor that just wants to beef off everyone.
I mean, how else is it gonna work? You have to figure out a way to make it work.
That's it.
And then when someone shares the thing, just say, okay.
Hmm.
Okay.